It is time to introduce the Edison BDE. Let's have a walk through Big D here, and I'm going to show you some of the features on what makes this truck so special. So going over the Edison BDE, we're going to start at the very front of our truck, work our way all the way through the back, going over the features of this truck. To start with, because this is an Oilfield truck, it's a Texas bed. We've got the Oilfield front bumper made by Marcep here. This thing is solid, and if you haven't noticed, it is designed for ground clearance. This thing is meant to go off-road, and because it is going off-road, it's going into those crappy conditions. We've got the full skid plate on the front end that drops down to protect things like your oil pan, that front axle. You're gonna hit this first. And if you're gonna be picking this up with a winch tractor, it is designed to get stuck in the mud and get pulled out. It's got this big tube that you can get a sling around, grab it. A lot of the times what you will see guys do is they will winch the front of this truck up onto the back roll of another truck just to take that steer axle, give more drive weight to both the push and pull trucks when you're in those heavy off-road, icy, muddy conditions. Coming back here, obviously we have our solid aluminum fenders. This is designed to be walked on, stood on, sat on while you're working on the engine. We've got guards for the turn signals on it. Here we went with the JW speaker headlights. These are LED headlights. I've ran these on my trucks for years. They are fantastic, great visibility. They have heated lenses. So the nice thing is LEDs, it's gonna start melting that snow that it could build up. The fender design, these are protected if you're in an off-road, if you're into a situation where you're hitting a deer, a moose, a buffalo, something like that. This is gonna protect that front shroud. Of course, we got the 3/4 inch penny lights. There's no feature for that. I just think it looks cool.
A kangaroo.
Kangaroo, yeah.
Can't forget the Australians.
Right, yep. If you hit a kangaroo, it should protect your whole front assembly so that truck isn't down. Because obviously with the work that this type of truck does, they go out for a lot of money per hour, and they normally have a lot of things. Like your rig moving, that drilling rig is a lot of money per hour. You're a crane truck and you've got a crew waiting on you. You do not want that downtime that can equal tens of thousands of dollars per day, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a day in downtime. These trucks can't afford that. Coming front here, you'll notice that we went with the old classic Pacific Hayes Kenworth LW style rad, where your top radiator is right up there. And then, like the old Pacifics, we went with the Charge air tubes. They're running right out past here. The reason is that we get the maximum extent of this radiator. We have 1,800 cubic inches of cooling capacity on this rad. Coming over here, one of the nice things we did, if you look up there, there is a sight glass. So when you're walking around, I can immediately see, nope, there's my coolant level. I don't need to actually hop up there to check it. It's just part of my walk around inspection, which means that now I can keep an eye on that throughout the day. Just every time I walk around the truck, oh, my coolant level's good. Coming back here, we've got the butterfly hood. So both of these two panels, they open up on the top and fold down, which means that you can remove this side panel here. The idea for that on these butterfly hoods, to have the side panel removed, it means you're not trapping the heat. You got to remember, this thing is designed to pack 300,000–400,000 pounds at low speed in the hills. So you're not getting that huge airflow from the rad, and you're trapping a lot of heat in there. So when you get hot and you're heavy hauling, you just take these side panels out, that heat dissipates, just cools that engine bay a little bit more. And in the wintertime, you can put that insulated one to build more heat in your engine bay. So you kind of adjust it to the climate you're in. It's simple mechanical physics. Gets hot, let the air flow out. Gets cold, put it in there. Coming up to the front here, we got dual steer boxes. We got a 20,000 pound steer axle for the big weight. We're running the big 445 steer tires. We don't need it. We could easily run a 425, but I just like the looks of the 445. We also have the load share, so we put this on air ride. Why I like that is that you can inflate that airbag. You can take the weight off the steer axle. It's gonna start saving some of those leaf springs. It gives a more comfortable ride. The comfier you have your ride by having air on your front axle, the less vibration, the less impact that you're putting to the rest of your mechanical components. Not only is it nicer for the driver, it's going to save that wear and tear. In my mind, putting the air ride front suspension, always worth it. Coming back, we got the old school Donaldson ERP air breathers. These have been on every off-road truck for the last 80 years. They're just simple. They move it out there so you can start sucking in that cold air, not the hot air into the engine bay, so you're getting a little bit cooler air hitting that engine. You're also outside here, you've got extra. These are the biggest air breathers you can get. Rather than having one small one tucked in there, you have two large external, which means that when you're in dusty environments, number one, it's nice and easy. You can drain that dust out. They also take longer before they plug up. Better airflow, better cooling equals better fuel mileage. In an off-road heavy haul application where you're not running down the highway, getting that engine to work properly is much better, in my opinion, than just making sure you have the aerodynamics and tucking it all in there. Coming back here, what I'd like to point out is the pure amount of cab space. This is just a little removable kicker panel. We have lots of room on this truck to work. It is a heavy off-road truck. Fellow should be able to climb in here, be able to work on stuff. Have a look at things, see what's going on. Coming back behind that, you will notice we have true dual exhaust pipes. There is no fake stack on this thing. Running a 6-inch stack there, bringing it up to a full set of 8-inch pipes, heat shield. We have the ATG sleeper built down in Indiana. We went and picked that up. The entire body is done by basically body liner too. It's hard to see, but this is a spray-on bed liner. This is one of the toughest paints you can get. I am sure people are wondering what is happening here. These are your chain hangers. Basically, all your tire chains, when you're in mud, icy, snowy conditions that these trucks are operating in, they need tire chains. I like them right here. They're right off the side of these 550-liter fuel tanks. You just run, you grab your chains, you turn around, you flip them over. There's a cool feature for throwing on your tire chains that I'm going to show you later here. But coming back, we also have this. I'm not going to comment more on that. I wish we didn't, but we do have to follow EPA guidelines. Right back here, we got our 40-ton winch. This is the part of the thing that makes a winch tractor. We're going to go a lot more in a future video on what makes a Texas bed, but for now, I'm just showing you the features of our truck. We'll get into what the truck does later. Come back here, we have the New Way AD130. We have a 56-inch axle spread, so between this axle to this axle, that's 56 inches. We can go a little bit longer if a customer needs, but the AD130 is a classic. This suspension has been in the off-road heavy haul game for forever, as far as I know, and it's bulletproof. It costs a little bit more, it weighs a little bit more, but it's a more solid suspension in my opinion. It is the toughest air ride suspension you can get on the market. What is also cool right here, we have chain up lights. So we have these little white lights. You can hit a switch, so when you're throwing your tire chains, makes it nice and easy. Speaking of tire chains, have a look at this. This rear fender just folds right out of the way. That means you got to throw your tire chains, you run up there, grab your chains, you can throw them on there. Makes that real easy. For the fifth wheel assembly here, if you'll have a notice, we went with the logger style. I like to call it the logger style. I don't know what other one, but this is a brake pot that pops that pin out, allows it to slide down these two rails. I've had great success. It holds well, it pops well, it slides well. I really like it compared to the normal style that just has the 3 teeth in the side. I think that secures it. Coming here, we have a dual lock fifth wheel. So compared to a normal fifth wheel that just has the one handle, you've got 2 handles. This is for when you are loaded with that 400,000, 500,000 pound loads. You want to make sure that that thing is not going anywhere. So that's just a heavier spec hauling fifth wheel. Coming back here, this is the rear roll of a Texas bed. You'll notice this thing will articulate on a pin. And what this does is that when you hit a switch, the cylinder lifts up and this roll will lift, turning it so that you can either use it as a fifth wheel tractor or use it as a body job. You can load something onto a truck. This guy will flip up and it'll carry its own load. Like I said, we're gonna go more into the features of the Texas bed rig up in another video. But I just wanted to show off the truck. We have lots of storage boxes. That was one of the big requests from DJ from Royal. He said, give me as much storage as you possibly can. We've got through storage on the sleeper. We've got multiple cabinets in the sleeper to store your clothing, your gear. So why don't we go inside? Let's have a look at the interior of this thing. So welcome to the interior for the BDE. I'm gonna give you a little walkthrough on here. We have our full gauge package on the dash. RPM gauge isn't hooked up yet. Give us a minute on that. We just got the truck out on the road. Then we got speedometer. We have our air, primary air, secondary air for the 2 air tanks. Up here, we have our brake application. So if I step on the brake, that'll tell you how hard you step on the brake. Truck and trailer, you'll notice that that is a trailer. The other nice thing you will notice on this truck for the trailer, it is not one of those thumb ones, because I've had it before where you hit the thumb and you release it and your trailer brake's released. Well, I'm coming down a switchback, I'm setting my trailer brake. With this one, I set it, it's set. Until I move that up, my trailer brakes are set. So if I'm winching and I'm sucking something on, I can just set that, run it as a dry brake. If I'm logging and I'm coming into a switchback, now if I let go of this, it doesn't release my trailer and slam into the back of my truck. I've had that happen. It is not fun. You're running your trailer brakes, you're trying to come off on the truck brakes, then you let it go and the trailer slams into the truck and then kicks you out. Not good. For off-road, I get why they do it for the highway guys, so people don't set them and forget them. Off-road, I want it set and I don't want it to come off. We got engine oil pressure, we got this stuff, coolant, boost, voltage, all three differential temperatures right here. We got our inner axle lock. This locks the axles in. You'll notice it is in. If you are driving a tri-drive and you're running a BDE, do not take your inner axle out. You engage your inner axle, leave that inner axle engaged. Your diff locks, you want those in the opposition. Your suspension dump, this will dump the suspension. This one is what will pop that logger style fifth wheel and allow that fifth wheel to slide forward and backwards. Other than that, we have the standard Eaton 18-speed transmission, clutch, brake, throttle, and we have cup holders. 360 gimbal holders, so if you're off-road, it's not going to slosh around. That definitely wasn't an afterthought. We also have the fan. It's old school, but I love the air that comes off of the fan. Power window switches. I put them right up on the dash. Up here, we have our display screens, Bluetooth radio, some additional function buttons, stereo. We got our sleeper lights. Coming into the back here, we have our standard 46-inch sleeper. Not much to really say about that. It does come with bunk warmers apparently. Other nice thing about the dash I forgot to mention is that you'll notice it's on a piano hinge. So when you want to undo it, you just pop these two guys off here. I'm gonna make them a flathead screw going forward, but pop these. This will hinge forward, you can get in there and work. You will also notice that nothing is popped together in this truck. There is no plastic connections. Every single thing in here is a bolt. This is held on with bolts. This is bolted on. This is bolted on, bolted on. Everything is bolted, which means that it will minimize the amount of squeaks, rattles. You take a thing off to access the dash, you break the plastic tabs, now the dash is loose. No, it's bolted on. Oh, I did forget, this is that load share. You can adjust in here the amount of pressure on that steer axle, how high you're lifting up. But that's it. This truck is very, very simple. It is very utilitarian. It has fantastic legroom. I can't even. It might be too much legroom. Like, I can't even. I'm not a small guy, and this thing is massive. This... Yeah, this thing's got legroom for days. It was the biggest thing. It's like, man, I like having room in the cab. I like being able to recline my seat, because you're sitting out on the block, you're in a day cab, you're logging. You know what? I can literally lay back, have a full-on nap while I'm waiting in the truck. If I didn't have a sleeper, I can still recline, have that nap. I guess I wouldn't be in the sleeper wall, but I've driven trucks before, like the Western Star old cab and the old Ken, and your knees are up on the dash. Like, that's not comfortable all day. Let me move my seat back. We didn't widen the cab. I like the visibility of the narrow cab, but I just don't want my knees on the dash. So yeah, that's it. This truck cab is very utilitarian, very simple. It's the way it should be. We're gonna get a lot of comments that this truck looks like it's from the 1960s, 1970s, and you know what? Good. That is what we want. That's what we're going for. I don't need a truck to feel like a Mercedes-Benz. I don't need a fancy plastic thing. I am working this thing off-road. You know what I need? I need a simple truck that's reliable, that's easy to fix. I want things like these steel braided lines that go in through here. I want simple TW1 switches that I can grab and fix. I want a dash that's not gonna fall apart, that I can fold back, that I can access. I want a truck to do the things that a truck is going to do. This is it. It is a simple work truck designed to be easy to fix, easy to repair, and last as long as possible. So I'm pretty proud of that. I think we've achieved that goal in the truck. And I just want to give a big thanks to everybody in this company. All our employees, the engineers, the mechanics, the support staff. I want to thank our suppliers that have been working with us to help get this truck across. I want to thank the investors who have been investing in Edison Motors to help make this possible. If you are interested in Edison, you like this truck, you want us to take the next steps, make sure you go to the website, edisonmotors.ca. Investment, read the risks, read the disclaimers, the offering memorandum on there, because obviously we're going to be building a few more of these trucks, and I am really, really excited. So I'm looking forward to the next few steps. We're going to get this thing out, doing a lot more driving, showing it off, putting it to work, going through its paces, seeing what we got to fix. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching the video and the tour on the Edison BDE.